Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclone. Time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. So, I came upon some news today. I went looking around the Armstrong Powerhouse website. We're not going to talk about one piece of news I found about maybe half an hour ago that I also have thoughts on, but I won't talk about that. What I will talk about is this HHA Wagon Pack scenario that you see on the screen right now. There's two of them here. You can see I've already played them, and I'll talk about that later. There's a reason why they're checkmarked and not published. It has to do with computer audio issues at the time, but we'll talk about that as we get into the scenario. What I want to talk about right now is the fact that these scenarios are no longer available. Now you're going to note that I'm playing them with the Class 66V 2.0 version. I think they were originally published with the version 1.0, the 24023 package, as it was numbered on Steam. So I think they originally were under what was called the Class 66 Green, which stands for the Freightliner livery, of course. I've gone ahead and edited these to use the newer Class 66, which also has scenarios on this same route, using the same livery, except, again, I've got the enhancements because it's installed right on top of it. So we have the same train that applies to scenarios that I don't think I've actually aired on this channel yet for this route, because West Coast Main Line North I just started showing you recently. So this is literally my third scenario on West Coast Main Line North. We're already going into the AP scenarios with a lot of default scenarios, some of them broken, still left over to do. But because these scenarios are no longer available, I felt I wanted to document these scenarios for you. So we're going to go ahead and do this HHA scenario today. And I'm going to come back at a later time and do the other HHA scenario. And I may even do that this coming Friday. I haven't decided yet. So I may do these scenarios for the next 3 days. Friday and Saturday, as it's a two-part scenario. The 130. So I might do this as a two-part scenario on Friday and Saturday. But for today, we're going to go ahead and do this one. Nice, quick, easy scenario over to Ravenstruther. And that's what we're doing. We're going from Mossend to Ravenstruther on train number 66557 with 19 empty HHA hoppers. A lot lighter than the train we did the other day. So let's get started with that. We're in 2011 on a rainy Saturday. Alright, as advertised, train number 66557. I have not applied the branding pack, apparently. I need to remember and do that for the next scenario. Let's remember that for next time. So, turning on the master key. We're going to go ahead and do some configuring while we're waiting for that to activate. That should be good. Yeah, I don't think there's much else for me to do, so let's go ahead and just turn on the power and get ourselves up to 5 miles per hour. That is our speed limit. Where are we starting today? Quick peek at the map to confirm. We are looking at Wishaw. Oh, that's where we're going, sorry. We are starting up here at Mossend Yard. We are in Mossend's, what's the Mossend siding number I want to see? Mossend up reception 3, it looks like, is where we're starting today. Can I go or not, please? Oh, brakes are on. Yes, dum-dum, get the brakes off and you can go. That's exactly how this works. Remove the brakes, you'll find you go. Me dum-dum. Give me gum-gum. Note, this channel is not a sponsor of Night at the Museum. Let's turn the computer on as well, just because I can. Hey! Excellent, that's good enough for a display screen. So you may have heard me say in the introduction, this scenario is no longer available, nor is the other one that goes with this. And I think there might be one for another route as well. I think there might be one on the on Newcastle, New York as well, perhaps. So you heard me probably say these scenarios are no longer available. This is true. If you if you purchased and downloaded the pack before they were removed, you may still have an installer that includes these scenarios. But if you ever lose that installer, or the scenarios themselves, or both, like if you replace the existing installer with a new one, let's say there's an upgrade to the wagons and you want to get the upgrade wagons, whatever new features or mechanics those wagons have. Let's say you decide you want to do that. If you use that installer and you don't maintain your existing installer or the scenarios from the existing installer, you will lose those scenarios. I will tell you right now, Armstrong Powerhouse will not give you those scenarios you paid for, even if you don't back them up yourself. You're not going to be able to get them anymore. You can't get them from Armstrong Powerhouse. They don't keep old stuff. And I can understand from their perspective, these are old scenarios. But at the same time, I'm a little upset that they just take the content out of the pack like that. So I'm just telling you right now, if you have them, keep them. If you don't have them, I can't help you. Sorry. So there could be other packs affected by this as well. Do some research. Look through the Internet Archive at alternate versions of the pages. Find out which installers you might have that contain scenarios, and make sure those scenarios get backed up if you want to keep them. Otherwise, you're not going to be keeping them. And if you never bought the packs up to this point, or you only buy them now, you're never going to get those scenarios. So here's your chance to enjoy these scenarios that you can no longer obtain. And we're just going to do that. We're still stuck in the quagmire of 5 miles per hour until we get fully out of the yard here. So I'm trying to maintain some modicum of speed here. The good news is we don't have any kind of timetable to work with, so we can just do whatever we need to do here. And we're going all the way to Ravenstruther Head Shunt. Now, given the track we are on, we are going to stay on the left path here. We cannot go straight from where we are right now. Not possible. Is something passing me? Yes, there is AI in this scenario. I just don't remember what it all is from my first run. I swear there's AI somewhere. I don't see it. We can now go up to 30 miles per hour. We shall go ahead and do so quite happily at this point. Now, just to reiterate the mechanics of my setup here, I am using the original version of the Armstrong Powerhouse Sky and Weather Enhancement Pack. I do not have V2.0, and I'm not sure how V2.0 would work with this scenario. I don't even remember if this scenario was set up for V1.0 of the pack. It might not have had the Sky and Weather Enhancements to start with. I didn't actually confirm that. But either way, I don't know how it would behave with version 2. I can just say that it did not require that initially. And I can certainly say if you do a version 2, then needless to say, these signals, they're going to behave a lot differently than the... Actually, that stayed green until I passed it. Cool. They would do the whole flashing animation thing that they do in real life based on what... And version 2 basically mimics that. Oh, that's the signal pack. I'm getting my packs confused. That's the signals pack. If you have the signals pack, the signals will behave differently. But I don't know how the weather pack would be different. There goes a passing EWS Class 66. We can now go up to 40 miles per hour, so I will increase my speed. We're actually moving into a 65, so I might as well keep my throttle applied to max for a while. So if I stick with the other scenario in this pair of scenarios, then the 66 scenario that we will be doing on Friday in this case, that will be a run from the southern end of the route. So we're going to be starting closer to the Carlisle section there, or in Carlisle perhaps. I don't remember the exact starting point. I think it's somewhere like the Carlisle yard. What station is this? I don't remember. Was this Motherwell? Where is this? That's not... I always hit the wrong button. Is that Motherwell? Where are we? We are... No, Holytown. We're on a different route. We're taking the Holytown branch. We can't go that way. That's not possible. But we are going to be heading down through this path here and eventually going via Wishaw. So Motherwell is down here. Actually, that's a different... That's Shieldmere. Motherwell is up here somewhere. So we're not going by Motherwell at all. We're going to be nowhere close to Motherwell. But Wishaw should be the other station we see as we go here. Then we're going to eventually come up to the Carluke area. After that, we're going to have to turn off to Lanark. And then we come upon Ravenstruther before we even see Carstairs. And that's what's going to be happening here. So I believe that was the line heading off. And now we're on the line heading towards Wishaw. .75 miles per hour is our coming speed limit, or as I refer to it, not achievable. Now, something we have to remember is that we are a freight service, especially an empty freight service. As a result, we have to assume that other traffic will get priority over us. We should be expecting yellow and potentially even red signals as we go in the event that we have to wait for another train. So we need to be ready for that possibility. We're going to assume that may happen. I'm starting to gain some speed now. Oh, just as I say that, we get a yellow signal. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and just kill the throttle, because I have to go down to 40 anyway. And I am down to 40. A little early, but I did it. I did the thing. Now, because I had the, I think that was a double yellow signal, I'm going to go ahead and just maintain 40 even as I get into 75. I should be able to see if we still have a yellow signal up ahead by the time we actually get to the point where the 75 would be in effect anyway. Maintain a little power for the time being. Let's zoom in and check the signal ahead. That's a yellow of some form. It looks like a single yellow aspect. Yes, that is absolutely correct. That is a single yellow aspect. So we have to assume that the next signal, which is now 3/4 of a mile away from us, is a red aspect. Now, I recall that a Class 318 from UK Train Sim was actually used in this scenario. Back then, I think it was a different way that was obtainable as well through Armstrong Powerhouse. It was in their stock pack. If you happen to have this scenario and you can't find the link to the stock pack, by the way, as long as you have the UKTS version, that'll work as well. It's the same train. The freeware pack may or may not. I don't think the freeware pack actually includes it. So, the one that has all the coaches and that, I don't think that one actually includes this. You actually would need to get a separate download. There's a bunch of other 318s you can get as well, including an orange one that I found in there. So, yeah, if you happen to have the scenario but you can't find the stock anymore, you don't have the stock installed anymore, just grab the UKTS one. Keep in mind that UKTS also closes in August. So if that goes down, well, I might be able to help you find the stock, but needless to say, it'll be hard to find otherwise. because both places where you can get it will be gone. And there's also a new 318 also available from UK Train Sim. If you got it from Alistair Cowell, I think it is. His version is most likely far superior as an AI anyway. So you may even want to just sub that in if you have that anyway. Not even worry about the old one here. But again, UK Train Sim. I think it's available on Alan Thompson Sim though. I think you can get his on Alan Thompson Sim. I just don't have a link to it, so don't quote me on that. Not readily available anyway. So you heard that buzz, you see that red. We do have to come to a stop up here. I'm just letting the train go slowly at this point because we're going to have to stop anyway. I'm hearing noises though. Are we on a bridge? Might be the bridge we're on. Okay, let's get a little further along because I'm getting nothing here. Note to self, this train slows down even with a minimal throttle application to 0. Note made, moving on. The 1 in 100 gradient might have something to do with that though, I'm not sure. At this point, we're just going to go ahead and put the brakes on. Why not? Let's just put the brakes on. We're going to wait here and see what is taking so long for this train to come along. We have a train that we're supposed to wait for, obviously. And I'm pretty sure it should be coming along on that other track. The reason we have to wait for it here is quite simple. We're heading to Ravenstruther. Ravenstruther, as you can see, well, 12.19 miles ahead. Actually, that might be a separate red signal up ahead. But we have to wait for access to a track here at Wishaw, which is why we can't proceed right now. If I hit tab, we're not allowed to pass. So we gotta wait, we gotta see what's going on here. Something's going on up ahead. When we know what's going on, I'll report back. All right, we are on the move again. Turns out nothing passed us, so we are. Looks like there was a train we must have been waiting for to leave Wishaw on a passenger service, most likely, and that appears to be what probably was the case. So we're now going to go ahead and make our own way into Wishaw. We were on a yellow signal, by the way, so I should not be going too fast here. I need to actually maintain slow enough speed that I can stop if I need to. The reason, of course, is because we most likely are following that train now through Wishaw. So if we're following that train, that means we're eventually going to be coming up on another red signal where that train would have still been in that block. Let's remember that detail. And here's Wishaw. Now, I know I alluded to that 103-minute scenario already, but I want to just tell you a little bit about that so you know what to look forward to on Friday and Saturday. On Friday, we're going to start the journey, assuming that I stay with that plan, so right now it is. We're going to start the journey and run from Carlisle, wherever it is we start. We're going to head all the way up to our stopping point. Once we get to our stopping point, I don't remember what it is, but it's somewhere before Carlisle. Once we get to our stopping point, we're going to have to sit there for a while and do some train spotting. So that's what we have, a bout of train spotting. And I'm going to split that, as I said, into two parts. So part one will be to get to the stopping point, which is a basic drive up the West Coast Main Line North. Part two will be the actual train spotting itself, cutting out a lot of that half hour. And then the finale drive from the stop point to the finish point, which is I believe at Ravenstruther, just like this one. The difference is I think we have to back into Ravenstruther in this case, or in that case rather. This one we get to go straight in. You heard the ding, so we know the signal is clear. I can go at full speed at this time, and I'm going to try and do that. I hope you're having a good week so far. I'm fine. I'm a little tired today. I am grossly tired for some reason. I hope you're less tired than I am and enjoying everything about your week so far. Thank you again for riding along here on train number 66557. The Armstrong Powerhouse HHA Pack. Scenario no longer available, but we can still enjoy it. This is a 45-minute drive from Mossend Yard to Ravenstruther. We're getting warned about a 30-mile-per-hour junction? Or are we getting warned about the 60? Why am I slowing down? There's no reason for me to slow down. Whoa! Okay, note to self. The Class 66 still has the bumping cars mechanic. I don't know if it's possible to derail yourself on that, but it still is jarring to see. So our 60 is going to drop to a 50. And then we're going to re-enter a 90 as we approach Law Up Main, which is going to also get us out of the congestion of tracks surrounding Glasgow North. There's only going to be one track going away at this point until we get to Carluke, where I think it splits into two again. Or is that, maybe I'm thinking Carstairs, but we're not going to see Carstairs. Our green signals continue. Coming up, of course, is our 95, sorry, I second guessed myself. Our 95 mile per hour speed limit is straight ahead. As we pass that green signal, we are now a little less, or a little above 6.5 miles from the Lanark Junction. Ravenstruther is not long after Lanark Junction. Lanark is a station we don't get to see very much. In fact, we haven't seen it at all yet on the two snares that I've played. We just went by the same junction. Lanark is about, I want to say, 3, 4, or 5 miles away from the junction. It's a terminus point for the railway, and it's actually a terminus point for the Argyll line. It's the furthest the Argyll line goes. Argyll line, of course, goes to Lanark, Motherwell, Cumbernauld, Dalmuir, Mulmgavie. Lots of termini points. I think this is Carluke. You see I'm having trouble maintaining speed here, so it looks like the getting up to speed limit is very, very tough with this train. Let's turn it back up another notch there and see if I can kick it into full power here. signal coming up. This looks like still a green signal. Passing this signal, we are now 4.92 miles from Lanark Junction. And there's construction equipment over there in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'll stop singing. Another green signal, 3.5 miles away from Lanark Junction. So we're slowly trying to increase our speed here. We're up to 52 miles per hour on a downhill stretch here. And this is where we're going to get a yellow. There it is. Just as we start increasing speed. C'est la vie. So we're going to have one complication trying to access Ravenstruther. We have to be in the right lane. Which is where I feel more comfortable anyway, because that's how I drive. We have a single yellow aspect. There's no flashing or anything, so we do expect that the next signal will be red. Oh, I should have kept the brakes on. I knew that. I knew that nudge was going to happen. I knew that nudge was going to happen. I mean, I don't know how realistic it is, but that is really, really jarring when you're expected to slow down for something, especially a stop signal, and then all of a sudden, bam, everything pushes you back forward much faster than you were before. It's like, why did I bother stopping? There it is again. Punch up by 4 miles right to 12 miles, and it's like I never slowed down under 10 to start with. So that's something you have to watch out for in these scenarios, especially where there's yellows that you have to chase. If you're chasing yellows, you might as well just go 2 signals back, because you're otherwise going to be getting a lot of jamming the throttle forward, or jamming the train forward and back to higher speeds, like you're seeing here. I'm not even going to pay any attention to that whistle board we passed, by the way. We're not going to be hitting the crossing yet. I actually want to try and stop before the crossing if possible, because I believe it is in the section up here, and you can see the red signal. I think you can see it from a distance at this point as well. In fact, the easiest way to tell is there's no yellow there. I'm putting on a small brake application now. The train is warning me. Let's see what happens if I turn the brakes off at 2 miles per hour. I want to see if it lurches forward again. 1 to 5. Look at that. Wow. It's like I knew it was going to happen. Out of curiosity, what happens if I do that? Wow. Yeah, you have to really watch these speed boosts. Okay, I didn't read. You're serious. This is kind of comical. The cars apparently try to keep going forward, and all of a sudden you just lurch in. Like, it really is comical. It really is. So we're going to stay here and avoid any lurch. And all we can do is wait for whatever is going on up here. Or do we have to actually request permission? Yeah, we're denied. We have to wait for permission to continue onwards. So we're not even at Lanark Junction yet. We just have to wait for another train. That's the end of that discussion. So we're going to wait for another train. So clearly we got the signal before the train passed us. That means that we are getting to move along on the junction here. And that was what was being blocked. We are using that junction to get into the right lane as I talked about earlier. So let's do that. Notice that we also had a yellow aspect, which makes me think that we could potentially have a red up ahead. Given how close we have to go to Carlisle, and given that Lanark Junction is right before Ravenstruther, I would not be surprised. Right across level crossing, you can see the bus there. The speed limit is now going to be 40 miles per hour on the junction. And I think we are going to get a red signal at the next signal. I think we're going to be receiving directions here, if I remember correctly, because Armstrong Powerhouse tends to like to give directions on what you should do, and that's what you should do when making a scenario. So we're probably going to get directions at this next checkpoint here. We'll be told what to do from there. Let's see now. No, I was not notified of anything. That's interesting. Okay, so we got 2 signals to go, apparently. Question is this a red or a yellow up ahead? Yellow. Both yellow. There's the AWS ramp. So notice that we have a single yellow here, a double yellow on the left. We want the single yellow. Hello driver, please press tab to obtain permission from the signalman to enter Ravenstruther. There's the direction I was expecting. So we're going to have to request to pass this signal at danger. It is possible this might be a standard procedure. This might be what is normally done. However, of course, needless to say, we have to assume that it could also be a broken signal in the game. But it's possible this could be what you're supposed to. Maybe the signal is always red. You never get a yellow or a green unless you stay on the main line. So that might be what it is. So I got my speed down low enough now, and I'm going to probably lurch forward. Yeah, I could stop at the signal request to pass at that point. That would be the proper thing to do. But given the convenience of the gaming environment, I'm just going to go ahead and tab at 0.05 of a mile out, and that should be enough. There it is. So we're going to approve. We're going to get approval now. You can see the white shunt signals come on the signal. We can now pass this signal as a shunt signal. You can see that looks remarkably like a shunt signal, and that's why. Because a shunting move is possible at this signal. So we're going to veer off to the right. That is Ravenstruther. The line coming in is one of the Ravenstruther lines. Quick exploration of the area over here. I'm going to hit map and show you. One of the lines, there's a couple sidings over here in this side. These are the runaround sidings, so you can do a runaround procedure. But then we have the main siding over here, which is basically an entry-exit type siding. You can go back on the line. You can also come from the other direction, reverse in. So there are options here. There's another siding right here as well. So you got several options for sidings that you can use at Ravenstruther to make scenarios as realistic as possible. And if you have to do a runaround, do a runaround. If you need to go back in the other direction, that may be possible as well. So the runaround would be if you're coming from, say, Carlisle Yard, but you're not Carlisle, Carstairs Yard, but you need to go towards Carlisle, but you're heading in the direction of Glasgow. There's your runaround siding, and we're going to get to see what those runaround sidings do when we actually do the proper Class 66 introductions. I'm going to get that Freightliner logo on there for that as well. Not to mention the other scenario from this pack that was no longer available. So that will be coming up. We will get that label on there properly for the introduction to the runarounds. I'm not kidding. The 3 scenarios in the pack, they're all about the runaround. I also know that I have to edit the career scenarios because the timings are bad on those, so I'm going to be changing those to 1,000 with deductions because that's what freight should be. There should be no rush timetable on freight snare as far as I'm concerned. So you can see up ahead we do have a buffer. Our line does end here. I'm now within the Ravenstruther head shunt, so I will put the brakes on. Not all at once though, I need to make sure I don't lurch forward either. Nope, I stopped. I guess that's good enough. Let's look at the train as we finish. As you can see, we're fully off the main line, so we are done our mission here, and the cars have been delivered for loading to whatever needs to be done. So these can be backed into the runaround siding, and the train literally reversed from here. So you can run around regardless of which direction you're going. You just have to do some reversing to do the runaround in this case. In any case, well done. The local driver here at Ravenstruther will take over now, and they do the runaround work here. That's what they do, and then they hand the train back to you, I guess. Again, so that's what they do. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. We are going to try and do that 130-minute snare next time. Oh boy, I might be asleep by the end of it. But we're going to do it. And it's going to be 2 parts, and it'll be the Friday and Saturday. So you're only going to see one snare this weekend. It's going to be a really long one. Stay tuned for that. I'm Cyclone. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for you. You're part of the world. See you next time. Bye-bye.